I wanted to go through the basics of the language. Some of you are just recently started doing with us, and I thought it would be good to firm up the vague understanding that you might have picked up already. And so just to go through the salient features of the language. You can find more of these lessons in the Sutta readings page. I moved the Pāli lessons from earlier it was on the Vinaya classes page, but I moved it here this is where it should be. This is a PDF with more detailed lessons that we put together with Ajanga Vesako when we were supplementing Vinaya study at the time with Pali lessons. And it includes exercises you can do. It has answer key that you can check your solutions. It has an Anki deck if you want to study with spaced repetition. The deck only includes the vocabulary for the first 3 lessons, but that's still fairly good to get a grasp on some of the just the very common vocabulary. And I wanted to let you know that if you want to listen to these recordings that we make offline, then I upload them also on Google Drive. So if you feel you want to go through like today's lesson at another time or other lessons that we've done before, you can download the recording to your phone or tablet or device, and you can listen later without an internet connection. That's, I think, is useful. That way you don't have to listen to it on the YouTube playlist.
Mm-hmm.
But for today, let's do this. Let's go through these notes. So word order in Pali is, like we usually say, it's variable. That the words, because they receive the declensions, the nouns receive declensions, the verbs receive conjugation endings. So they can be in all sorts of orders, but there is something that is expected. Like there is a convention in the language that would be subject, object, verb. And so you have a subject, you have a verb, and then the object is subject, object, verb. Anyone recognizes this sentence? The translation is also on the paper, but the pseudo battang pachati is verb is pachati, so present tense. What the subject, the person who is doing the action, who is performing the action, is the cook, suda, but because he is the agent, so this is in the nominative, and that's why the suda becomes sudo, and the object, so suda. What is the cook doing? The cook is pachati. He is cooking. And what is he cooking? What is the object? He's cooking rice. And that will be the accusative. So much of the skill I feel in breaking down these sentences is just getting used to what these strange declension names actually mean in the sentence. But when you identify it, then you get used to how they function. Then it's fairly recognizable. So another sentence. So this is in singular, sudo, one cook. So other one is daraka bojaniyang bunjanti. So verb here is bunjanti. What is the action? Is eat. But this is, so recognize pachati ends with ati, bunjanti ends with anti. So this is plural because the agents are the boys who are the dharaka. And so the verb agrees with the number of agents. So, boys is in plural, verb is in plural. And bhojaniyam is, what are they eating? They are eating rice. So this is in the accusative, right? Like this. Taraka bhojaniyam bhunjanti. The something that doesn't happen in the English is that in English you can't put the verb in plural. You can't, they eat, but you can't express that on the verb. They just have to, like the verb doesn't take that form. But in Pali, the verb always follows the number of agents. And so another case here with the birds. So birds are sakuna. What they are doing, they are flying, uddayanti. And the akase is in the locative because this is the place. So where they are flying. So birds are flying, uddayanti, and where is this taking place is the locative. And this is how so accusative is the functions for the purpose of showing, what is the object of the verb. He's eating rice, or they are, he's cooking rice, or they are eating food. Locative functions with place or time. So samaye, for example, is also very common, is that at the time, samaya is time, and in the locative it's samaye. So locative can also show place and time. If you have adjectives, so you have to qualify a noun. So here, assa is a horse. Is a very difficult verb in a word, because if you just see assa in somewhere in the sutta, in the text, it's a very irregular word that can have a large number of meanings. And so here it's a noun, and it's a thing, and so it's a horse. But assa can also be it can also be a pronoun, meaning for him, to him, something. It's conjugated from that pronoun. But here asso is in nominative, and we want to say that the horse is white. So white would be seta, but the adjective always agrees in declension with the noun. So the seta becomes seto asso, right? Like that. If it's plural, then it takes the plural form. So there are horses, which are white, seta assa. And this common construction, this could already form a sentence. This is what's called the nominal clause, is that all the parts of the clause in the sentence are in the nominative. Like in this case, you have the boys, the boy, daraku, nominative, and we're qualifying him that the boy is a samana. And so that would be, both of them are nominal, nominative to express that they relate to one another. So basically it's a sentence where the pattern is A is B, C is D. And because that meaning is fairly obvious from the contents, then the hoti is usually dropped. And so you just see this long list of nominatives, like bhikkhu, sato, sampajano, the bhikkhu who is mindful, who is, clear comprehending, clear, he is virtuous, and so on. All of these would be nominatives. The tricky one is when you have nominatives of the other genders. So dara ko, when you see it ends in o, then that's the nominative of a masculine. Right? Dara ko, boy. Boy is masculine. But if it's a neuter, like kamma is a neuter, vijnana is also, and tanha is feminine. And these are all, again, feminine forms. These are all nominative forms, but the gender of the noun is different. And so the neuter in nominative takes the ang ending. It's confusing because the accusative otherwise takes the ang ending. But yes. And so here, this is a statement of three things. Is that you have kammam ketam, there's an implied hoti, so that kamma, an action, is the field. Kammam ketam. Action is the field. Vijnanam bijang. Consciousness is the seed. Like that. Again, hoti is just implied. And craving is the moisture. Tanha, feminine, has nominative form with this I ending, and the moisture is again in the nominative form to agree with the case of tanha. So tanha is the moisture, and here it would be, so again, hoti. So this you have to recognize in the sentences that when you have all these nominative forms, they mean this kind of construction. Something is something else. Something is something else. Okay, fairly. I think you've seen plenty of examples of this when we were doing the sutta reading. So let's try to translate this sentence, and we're not going to do it all in one go. We will build up the sentence with little pieces. So the man who is faithful goes to the village with an all-white chariot. So what is the, Venerable Atanyu, what is the subject? Who is doing the action?
The man.
The man, that's right. Do you remember the Pāli for that?
Manusa.
Manusa, could be Manusa. Another one is Purisa.
Purisa, right.
Purisa here. So here will be the man, and because he is the agent, so we put it in nominative Puriso. So the man goes to the village. Do you remember the verb for to go?
Gachati.
That's right. So gachati. Puriso gachati. And he goes to the village.
So Gama.
So Gama, and to the village. it's going. This is the place where he's going. So
Gamanong,
it's accusative. So gamang,
Gamang.
gamang. In Pāli, accusative also serves for the place where you're going. So not just the like what you're eating or what you're holding or the object, but also it's called the accusative of motion. Is that so? The man goes to the village. So far, so good. So the man is faithful. So how do we add that he is faithful? Do you
I
remember?
believe. Yes.
So do you remember faith? Pali for faith.
Sada. Who? Yes, Sada.
Aha. Saddha. And we want to qualify the man.
Accusative. I don't know.
We want to qualify the puriso. So the way we connect the two is we say saddo. So the adjective will be the same case as the noun. So saddo puriso. The man who is faithful, he goes to the village and he goes with an all-white chariot. Ajangavesako, do you remember chariot for us?
Probably Yana here.
Could be Yana. I was thinking of Rata.
Ratha, yes, also.
Aha. So here let's use Rata. And so in Venerable so white, we saw the
Seta.
white before. Venerable Tita Primo.
Seto. Seta.
Seda. Seta. Seta.
Seta.
So white chariot. So how do we make this all white? What is all or everything or all the things?
Saba.
Saba.
Sabba, okay. So this is going to be,
All.
let's put it, Sabba Seta. Okay, now so we've got all white chariot. Now we need this idea that this is his instrument of movement. Bit of a clue. So he's going with the chariot. How do we put this in instrumental? Aha,
Ending.
Yeah,
Rathena.
Ratena, that's right, Ratena. So with chariot, this will be blue. And the adjective agrees with the noun. So sabba satena ratena. And this usually goes before the action. So saddo puriso sabba satena ratena gamam gacchati. Okay, that was fairly good. Now we want to say something about the chariot. So all white is the chariot. Venerable Titapanya, would you like to try to translate this for us?
Okay. All white is the chariot would be like Saba Seto Rato.
That's right, and it will be nominative.
Rato.
Sabaseto Rato. That's right, and so this is the nominal clause that we were talking about before. And that you could imagine a hoti there, but this is implied. We can stop the clause there. And so try the next one too. All white are the yoked horses.
Saba Seto Aso Payuto.
So horses is a
Oh,
plural.
horse is plural. Sab asa payuta or yuta.
That's right, Yuta. Assa Yuta.
Asa yuta.
So horse is plural, qualifying yoked is in plural, Assa Yuta.
So
And
sabaseta
Correct.
asa yuta.
That's right. And then here there's an implied honti that day, which doesn't have to be there.
It's plural.
Okay, so that was very good. Thank you. Now, you've seen a lot of this absolutive form that you recognize from the va ending. And we'll look at a few examples here. Venerable Titapimo, can you read the first one, please?
Yes. Adinavan kamagunesu disava tasamahaham pabajitomi raja.
What do you recognize here?
I recognize tasama. It's like a conjunction, something like that. Like
Meaning?
And pabaji, it's like it's going forward.
Going forward, that's right.
And raja.
The tasama is literally means from that, but the meaning is therefore.
Therefore, exactly.
In English, you say therefore. So ahang is the pronoun, meaning?
I don't know. You remember?
I think.
Go ahead.
Ahang, but the...
Yes.
Right. That's right. It's the religion of me.
Too simple.
The religion of me. You already forgot yourself. You forgot who you are completely. Let go of all that was all me and mine.
I've already done.
Very good.
Raja. I also see Raja another time, but now it doesn't come in my mind what does it mean. But it's like
king. He's the king. He's the king. But the absolutive is in the first clause of the sentence.
Yes.
Do you recognize what disava means?
I haven't seen.
No.
I haven't seen.
Ajangavesaku, can you explain this clause for us, please?
So the first clause, the first part is disva means having seen. Having seen. Having seen. Disva, very common word. Like we have the word diti, like view, so seeing, viewing, and so you can remember it like that. And then what have we seen? Adi navang kamagunesu. So having seen the drawback, so the danger. Adi nava means the danger, the drawbacks, and it's in the accusative. So you see, I have seen something, so that has to be the accusative. And the danger is in kamagunesu, in the it's called the strands of sensuality, or the the 5 types of sensuality, kama guna. So here this is in a plural. Guna becomes guna, and this is in the locative, kama gunesu, in them. So in the 5 types of sensuality, or strands of sensuality.
That's right, and therefore I went forth, great king. So this is the Venerable Ratapala addressing the king, So you could put a comma there, and Raja is in vocative, meaning that it's an address, like bhikkhus, hey man, hey bhikkhus, hey king. It's talking to him. And there's a sandhi here with amhi, pabbajito amhi, that I have gone forth, I did. Upekang bhavetava, labati ajatang vupasamang. So here the absolutive in the reason for calling it absolute is the action is absolutely complete. You can remember this strange name for it. The action has been absolutely completed. It's done in the past. It's finished. So having developed bhavetava, developed upeka in the accusative, labati ajatang vupasamang. Vupasama is peace or calm. And so that's what we are gaining. Labati means to get or gain. Ajatang vupasamang is inner peace. Another one here. Katamancha bhikkave. Let's somebody else do this. Venerable Jayaviro, can you read the next one for us, please?
So Katamancha bhikkave, is it? Yes. Okay. Katamancha bhikkave samadindriyang ita bhikkave ariya savako osagaramannang okay. Karittava. So using the telephone, so I need to adjust it a bit. Okay, so Katamancha is like for a question.
This is the interrogative, meaning what and what. The cha is joined to it, and what, because is the faculty of what is the faculty of concentration. So here because ida bhikkhave. So here because Arya Savako. Nominative, that's right. Again, please, the meaning.
Noble disciple.
That's right. Arya Savako, noble disciple. Do you recognize this word?
Aramana is like a object, is it?
That's right. It's an object of here. It's the object of meditation or a sign. Object means that it's something that you can identify. In this case, here it's the sign of letting go or release, vosagga.
Okay. And
having
this is
made, and the absolutive is. So it's the accusative, that's right. And karitava, what is the absolutive here? Do you recognize the meaning?
Having made.
Having made, that's right.
So the translation, how could it be? The noble disciple having made the object of release or something.
That's right. Having made his meditation object, his meditation sign, to be the sign of letting go, the sign of release. And having done that,
he obtain concentration. So labati is to obtain.
Is to obtain. That's right. He obtains what?
Samadhi.
He obtains concentration.
He
also obtains labati chittassa ekagatang.
And he also obtains the unity of mind.
That's right. So ekagatang is the accusative, and chittassa here is genitive. And this is how it expresses that. So of the mind. So genitive is a possession. Nika gatang this is the accusative, and oneness of mind, you could say, oneness or unity, like one-pointedness in other translation. So he obtains samadhi, he obtains unity of mind. Idang vucchati bhikkave samadhindriyam. This
Here, I say, no, is said, no.
is called, or is said,
Mhm.
is said to be. It's another way to translate it. But this vucchati is the, so this will be, we'll look at past participle later. This is past participle of from vachati. So this past participle business is, in English you would say, he says, and then from it becomes is said. And this is the, or developed. Okay, so that was good. Now let's translate a couple of more sentences. So from my kuti, I go to the vihara. Venerable Atanyu, would you like to try?
Okay, so from my good, so
let's first collect the words. So instead of just constructing the sentence, let's just try to find the vocabulary that we need.
So go will be gacha, gachati, gacha something.
So that's right. So gachati is third person, he goes. So if that's in, if I go, then that's gachami.
Chami, yes.
Aham.
Yes,
right,
yes,
so-
aham, yeah.
So I go, ahang, I go.
We
So
are,
the target is already given for you.
yeah, we are on. No, yes, no, we are, no.
So it's the accusative of motion. And so the place where you're going is in the accusative. So ahang, but the order is usually more like this, that ahang viharam gacchami. So I to the vihara go. The Pāli sentences like to put the verb at the end. And so it's awkward this is why it's awkward to translate them in English, because you have to start looking to the end of the sentence or the end of the clause and work your way backwards. In other languages, you can put the verb at the end more comfortably, but in English this doesn't help you very much. And so far so good. So kuti is given. Kuti is given. Could have translated it as a hut or a dwelling, but this is less ambiguous. And to express the idea that from the kuti is the ablative kutito. Kutito, you can recognize the ablative words from this to ending is very common. Kutito, and then my. Somebody remembers how to put my into this?
Me? No?
That would be to me, or that's right. Mama.
Oh, yeah.
my mama. It's like the baby. I want my mama. So mama kuti to ahang viharam gacchami. From my kuti, I to the vihara go. Very good. So let's bring this down and next one, Venerable Titapemo, would you like to try?
Yes. Having gone is gach is the same verb, right? Then
That's right. So we have to take gacchati, the verb,
yeah,
and put it in the absolutive.
it's gacheta wa.
A good try, but in this case it's gantava.
Okay, and of course probably.
That's right.
Is it? I don't know. Is I read yesterday's it, but now I don't remember.
So sitting. Can somebody help? How do I sit?
Nisi.
Nisi, right.
So nisidati is the third person, and so I sit. Nisidami, right? And the chair is chair could be asana or it could be a pita. So asana or pita, but we have to put this in the locative.
Right. Okay.
So because we are sitting on it, how would you put this in the locative then?
With the tawa.
No, not the absolutive. Locative.
Locative.
The place. Locative declension.
Nope.
This is the ending. Asane or pite.
Pite, okay.
That locative is recognizable easily by the if it's a masculine, then it ends with an e. So asane pite. This means on the chair. So I sit. Right, gantava. Good. Okay, let's keep going.
Of course, with the gantva, you cannot have the sentence start like that normally in Pali. You would have to say probably aham gantva asane nisidami.
That's right. So you could rearrange the order a bit like this. So aham gantava, and here a clause ends. Sentence, the new sentence, part of the sentence ends. A new sentence begins. Ahang is implied. Asane nisidami. Ajahn Titapanyo, could you translate the next one for us, please?
Having said, I learned the Buddha's word. So nisiditwa, and then sik. I learned sik would be like sikisami or.
That would be good. But sikisami is more like I train. I train in something. So I was thinking of Puganhati.
Puganhati, okay. Puganhami, or Buddhasa Wacha, or wait, no,
that's right. So I learn Puganhami.
I learn.
So the Buddha's words.
So
you got it right. So words
Buddhasa
are.
Wacha.
You could put it like that, Buddhasa, and then words are vachana.
But
but this is, we need to put it in, there's a common compound here to refer to the Buddha's words, which you recognize as Buddha Vachana,
All right. Yeah.
right? And so Uganhami, right? This will be, and we have to put this in plural accusative. So this Vachana is neuter, and we talking about words, so it's plural, and we're putting it in the accusative because this is what I learn. And so from
be-
Buddha Vachana, again, yes, please.
Would be like Buddha Vachana, long A.
Vachana, 2 more letters.
Vachana Nang. Not sure. I don't know.
Vachanani,
Vachanani. Okay.
Buddha Vachanani.
Okay.
With the neuter plural accusative.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, very good. More like this order actually. Buddha Vachanani Uganhami. Verb, the action at the end. Ajanga Vesako, can you translate the last one, this last one for us, please?
Having learned, having reflected, I practice for liberation. So that would be Uganhetva. Having learned from Uganhati becomes Uganhatva, and having reflected is probably reflected would be Patisanchikati, maybe from that one, or
Yes, that could be true. I was thinking of the one from the 10 frequent subjects, like he is looking inwards, reflecting frequently. Pacha?
Pachavekhati, yeah. Pachavekhati is also Pachavekitva.
Kitava, that's right. And
Okay.
it's an interesting word because it directly means looking. Like, he's reflecting by looking inwards.
It literally means like looking backwards, inwards, like looking back at oneself. Pacha is from pati. That means like back, yeah, into oneself, yeah. Pati avikhati. Avikhati means to look.
That's right. You're looking backwards on your own actions, right? And so that means you're reflecting on what you've done and how you are and what state you are in. Vachavekitava.
Yes, and I think it's Uganhetva. I think it's Uganhetva.
Hetava.
I think.
Okay.
And then Sikhami, I practice, or Patipajami, could be both. I practice Patipajami or Sikhami. I train. I practice.
And for liberation?
Liberation here would be Vimutti. And then Vimutti is feminine. So I think for the purpose of liberation would be Vimuttiya.
That's right. And so this is the dative form.
The dative, yes.
So the absolutives are the Ugarhetava, Pachavekitava, and the for the purpose of something is the dative declension. Vimutti, Vimuttiya. Oh, very good, thank you. So there are so next page on your papers, this is I collected a few of these verb forms that come up very often in the suttas, and the difference between them is good to train to recognize. So you have the present tense vadati, meaning says, speaks, tells something to somebody. For example, so evang vadeya natavahang imang sallang. This is you recognize this is from the talking about not removing the arrow. Salla is an arrow. And vadati here becomes an optative, vadeya. Not until this arrow is removed, and so on in the sutta. So vachati, so recognize you have vadati and you have vachati. The roots are good idea to pay attention to when, if you look up anything in the dictionary, then it's good to build up a sense of recognizing the root in a particular declension or conjugation so that you build up a feeling that what becomes what. You know, there's a, in the language, the connection between words is that the roots become conjugated, they receive declensions, and they look sometimes very different from their original form, but you can recognize the connections between them by recognizing the roots or the different meanings, like vadati from vad, vachati from watch. Like vachati is just speaks. But in this form, it's very rare actually. So vachati doesn't come up very often. Its most common form or very common form is in the passive. So from vachati, you see vach is the root. The passive is very common. Vuchati is said to be, is called. And we said like in definitions, for example, where you have a sentence like the Buddha is explaining how he wants to define rupa, like vuchati is the end. This is why is said to be form, and the meaning of the sentence here is he makes a word pun to bring out a deeper meaning. Rupati means something like afflicted. Bhikkhu Bodhi very creatively translates it as deformed. And because the connection is to rupa, which is form, and so form is deformed, form is afflicted. Therefore, because it is said, vuchati, it is said to be form, it is said to be rupa. This is in definitions very common. It's a good to recognize the past tense of vachati. So if you haven't read the grammar books very much, then aorist, when you see this aorist, it means simple past. But yes, that's just the name of the verb tense. So avocha comes up with in this form etadavocha very often. This was said, where you have etang avocha from vachati, and the sandhi, the way the syllables combine there is to become etadavocha. So in this case, the meaning here is someone else. Venerable Atanyu, can you translate this sentence for us, please? Can you hear me, please?
I don't remember about Atta.
And then atako.
Yes, okay, Atako.
That's the idiom.
So ayasma venerable Mahamogalana ayasmantang venerable Mahakasapan said. So both of them said.
Not both of them, but one of them is nominative and one of them is accusative.
One say to another.
Okay, yes. So yeah, so
So Mahamogalana is in nominative. So
yes.
he is the one doing the speaking.
So yeah, so he said to venerable Mahakasapa.
That's right. That's correct. So accusative Mahakassapang. So you see the endings agree. So Ayasama Mahamogalano, Ayasamantang Mahakassapang. Because saying is someone says to something and they say something. So Avocha takes Etang and takes Mahakassapa. So like here, if you, in the dictionary entries, if you look up the words, Venerable Bodhirasa made very exhausting effort to put in the definitions that what declensions a verb is likely to receive. So this, if in the dictionary you would see avocha, and it takes two accusatives, meaning that you're saying something to somebody. So avocha here takes evam as one accusative because it said this to somebody, to Venerable Mahakassapa. Makes sense? So like here with Bhavati as well, Bhavati will take a nominative, or Bhavati will take an accusative. This is the common. This is what its object will be declined in commonly. So to see, so Bhavati is becomes. You recognize the root is bu, and a common way to use this is that, for example, here Anando tunhi bhavati. Tunhi is silent. That just means the Venerable Ananda fell silent. He stopped talking, he fell silent. He became silent. He becomes silent. But from Bhavati, you have the causative form bhaveti. So notice the e there, bhavati, bhaveti. So bu ati, bu eti. This is the sign of the causative. Makes somebody to do something or make something. So the causes something. Like here it not just becomes, but causes to become. And so the meditation is expressed with bhaveti. You're causing something to happen. So for example, idipadang bhaveti. He develops, cultivates, he causes to become. He causes the roads to powers to success to become, to happen, to arise. Like Iddhi Pada. The roads to success, the roads to power, the roads to accomplishment, Iddhi Pada. So again, staying with this root, bu is where you have bhava. So these were verbs, right? You see, bhavati, bhaveti, these are actions, but it becomes a noun here with bhava. It's an abstraction, a state or condition or characteristic, but it's still connected with the root. So the root is still bu. And the Patimokkha chanters will recognize the phrase here, Tunhi bhavena kupanasamanti parisuddhati vedissami. Can someone translate this, please? Are there chanters here? Oh, one of you must know.
So it means the Vedisami, I will know.
Uh-huh.
I will know what Parisuddhati means. You in plural are pure. You are pure. Parisuddha, you are pure. And tunhi bhavena, through silence, by remaining silent, being silent.
So this is where bhava comes in. Tunhi bhava, the silent state, silent condition.
And kopanayasmante, I will pana means sort of and or but or connecting, and about the venerables, ayasmante parisuddha vedisami. So I will know about the venerables that you are pure.
That's right. Locative is about them, or that's right. And bhavena is instrumental. Through or by being silent, through being silent, I will know that you are pure. This is
That's right.
This is the deal that again. Please?
Yeah, note that the bhava is different from bhava. People often make this mistake. There are two different nouns. So because many English people, of course, mispronounce the word bhava, they cannot say it short like this correctly. They say bhava, but it's a different. And also because often in some of our books, like we don't write all the Pāli diacritics, so they assume somehow that the long a has just been missed out there. So it's not the same as becoming or existence, bhava. This is more like an abstract state, like a condition of something. For example, anyatha bhava means the changeableness. Anyatha bhava. I think we came across it in some passage. Anyatha, th. Anyatha bhava. The state of being otherwise. Yeah.
Becoming something else, becoming otherwise.
Yeah.
So again, with root bu, another noun is the bhavana. When we talk about meditation, right, it's bhavana, cultivating, developing. And again, this form is from bhaveti, from the action. And one way to. So let's read these examples. Ajangavesako, can you read the first one, please?
Samadhing bhikkhave bhavetha, samahito bhikkhave bhikkhu yathabhutam pajanati. So bhikkhus develop, cultivate concentration. Bhavetha is the imperative in plural, right? Yeah. So you in plural, bhavetha. And samadhing is of course accusative because it's the object of what you develop.
That's right. So develop to develop the samadhi. And
bhikkhave is the vocative in plural. Yeah, bhikkhave. Sometime in the suttas you find the form bhikkhavo, and they say, the Pāli experts say that this is some kind of older form, especially in poetry. Sometimes can be bhikkhavo, sometimes bhikkhave. Yeah, it's the vocative in plural, like you, bhikkhus. Okay, and then samahito bhikkhave bhikkhu yathabhutam pajanati. So the concentrated monk, the concentrated bhikkhu, the bhikkhu who is samahito. So samahito here is the adjective to bhikkhu, one who is concentrated. Yatha bhutam
So
pajanati.
here you can see the vocative is bhikkhave.
Again, yeah.
Like he's addressing them, he's talking to them, but the nominative is a bhikkhu.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly, don't confuse the two. So the concentrated monk, he knows, he understands, pajanati, knows. And how does he know? Yatha bhutam, as it really is, or literally as it has become. Yatha bhutam pajanati, as it has come to be.
Yata is as it is, or as it is, and bhuta is from the state, so as it came to this state. He understands how things happen. This is maybe an English idiom for it.
Yeah.
The Bhagava etadavocha bhavetanotum hibikave maranasatim. To hear recognize the avocha, etang avocha, the blessed one said this. Bhaveta, imperative again. He's calling, he's giving an instruction. You bhikkhus cultivate mindfulness of death, where in the end the ang plus iti becomes the anti. This is a common sandhi in the text. And then another example here. Venerable Titapanyo, can I ask you to read the next one?
Diswana Aismantang Rahulang Amantesi. So it's having seen, not sure, having seen it's the implied Sariputta doing the action that Sariputta addressed Venerable Rahula.
That's right. Amantesi is the past form aorist. So he addressed, so Sariputta addressed the Venerable Rahula, having seen him. Having seen
him. Okay.
What does he tell him?
Anapana Sating Rahula Bhavanang Bhavehi. Evocative Rahula, you should develop, cultivate what is like meditation on mindfulness of breathing. Not sure.
So that's right. The mindfulness of breathing meditation you should cultivate.
Okay.
So he did the different. So bhavehi is the instruction, but instead of so before, so in the earlier sentences it was bhaveta, which is plural, and so here bhavehi is singular imperative. So develop what? Develop the meditation. What kind of meditation? Develop mindfulness of breathing. Bhavehi. And he continues, please.
Anapana Sati Rahula Bhavana Bhavita Bahulikata Mahapala Hoti Mahanisangsati. So, Rahula, it's the mindfulness of breathing, the meditation of mindfulness of breathing is something like various adjectives like beneficial, of great fruit, of great benefit, of great fruit.
Pāla is fruit.
So Mahapala is
Grande frutto.
Great fruit.
great fruit.
Oh, Bhavita. Oh, like when well developed. Oh, Bhavita would be like well developed, when well developed, and then Bahuli Kata would be like made much of.
That's right. Bahu is much or a lot, and Kata you recognize from Karoti. This is the past participle form, is done or done a lot, literally, but you would say in more idiomatic English, you would say made much of or practiced a lot. When Anapanasati is, when the meditation of Anapanasati is well developed, is done a lot, then Mahapala Hoti, then it has great fruit. So the Hoti refers to the great fruit, Mahapala Hoti, and also the Mahanisangsa. It has great benefit, where this is Maha Anisangsa, great benefit. So these are the recognizing the past participles. Okay, there's quite a lot that I put on the sheet for you for today. I see now we're not going to get to the end of it, but let's see. Let's read this little bit from the Metta Sutta. This is on the 3rd page on your papers, from Karaniyamatta Kusalena, and then we'll read the end of we'll read that little verse from the Sila Sutta. So these are sections that you might have memorized already. So Karaniyamatta Kusalena. Venerable Jayaviro, can I ask you to read this, please?
Okay. Karaniya matta kusalena nacha kutta nachare kinchi. The ending in ena would be like the through, like the means. Is it?
So this is instrumental.
Instrumental, yes.
You recognize the compound. This is a compound of several words.
So kara.
So there's karaniya, karaniyang, actually.
Word for done, to do.
Something to be done. So this would be optative. That's right. Karaniyang, something to be done. So there's no metta in this sentence. Sometimes people chant this Karaniya Metta Kusalena, but there's no metta here yet in the Metta Sutta.
Metta, what would be?
Karaniyang.
Oh, atta. Oh, okay.
Kusalena. Ajanga Vesako, can you help us to break this down, please?
Yeah, sometimes this is written as two separate words. If you write it like that, karaniyang, and then atakusalena as another word, but sometimes it's actually compounded into one word like you have it. In that case, the dot above the final m disappears, so it just becomes like one word, karaniyam atakusalena. I think in our chanting book it's written as 2 words. Yeah. And then Attakusalena is, so Karaniyam, this is what should be done. And then Attakusalena is, Attakusala is the person who is skilled in what is the goal, what is the purpose, what is the good.
So this is the atta. Atta is a goal or purpose, right? And
And kusala is a person who is skilled, and kusalena is the instrumental, by one who is skilled.
Can you continue, please?
Nacha kuddam achere kinchi. So this is another example where the manuscripts differ. So we were just recently chanting Metta Sutta with some Sri Lankan monks, and I noticed they have a few lines different. So we have kuddam samachare kinchi, but here is just kuddam achere kinchi. But it's one of those things which doesn't matter for the meaning very much. Some is just a prefix that can be there or doesn't have to be there. So it's from, I think, acharati. I think one should not do, one should not perform, one should not commit anything, not something. Na kinchi means not something. That means anything.
That's right. Not actually goes back to the sentence, like it's and not anything.
Yeah, not kinchi. So one should not do anything.
And not anything which.
Yeah, and then it continues. Yena vinyu pare upavadeyum. Anything which or by which yena vinyu are the wise people. Yeah, the wise others. Pare are the other people, the others who are wise, basically. Para means other, but it means like the other people who are vinyu, who are wise. And upavadeyum means they would criticize.
That's right. So upavadeyung here is a plural optative.
Yeah. So it's from upavadati.
Go on, please.
It's from upavadati. Vadati to speak. Upavadati is kind of like to criticize. And here it's upavadeyung, which is the plural optative.
That's right. So to tell somebody something, upavadati. Like he would tell you that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And so yena is the instrumental by which vinyu wise people are the one who are criticizing. Upavadeyung is the verb in optative plural, and pare are
others. So I think the vinyu here relates probably like vinyu pare, the wise others, the other people
That's
who are
right.
wise.
And is the nominative
Pare,
plural
it just
accusative.
means, I think it's just I would have to look it up. Pare yena vinyu pare upavadeyum. Or maybe it's actually otherwise. The vinyu are those the wise people, but pare in that case would be yes, it would be the object. So the wise people would criticize others, the others. Yeah, so in that case it would be the accusative of.
So the wise are doing upadaveyung, right?
Upavadeyung,
So
yes.
the wise are criticizing, and they are criticizing who? They are criticizing others. And this one is from the Patimokkha chanting Yopana Bhikkhu Otinno Viparinathina Chittina Matugavina Satinkaya Sangsakang Samapajjeya. So here this is an example here for another optative form, like the Samapajjeya, the touching or grabbing or holding, the body of the parts of the body of a woman with matugamina, with distorted, with how do you translate this?
Like a mind that is
Altered.
overcome by passion.
Altered viparinatina, altered, overcome, distorted mind. Okay, then let's finish with the verse at the end of it in the Sila Sutta. This is I like this little part in the Sila Sutta because it makes good use of how the poetry in Pali uses these declensions and forms and participles to use the same roots but put it in different forms to convey a particular meaning. This is exercising the particular flexibility of the language that is in specifically in Pali. And so here, this is in the sutta, the Buddha is addressing the Brahmin Sela. So Brahmin Sela comes to the Buddha, and he is a well-learned, he's an expert of the Vedic knowledges, he's well-known, he's a famous Brahmin, and he is examining the Buddha for the signs, the marks of the great man, and he wants to know whether the Buddha is enlightened or not. And the Buddha performs the right kind of he's pleased to see the Buddha is behaving in the way how a great man should behave. He has the signs of a great man, and in the verse that the Buddha recites to him, this is one of the quotes there. So, abhinyayang abhinyatang bhavetabbancha bhavitam pahatabang pahinang me tasama buddhosmi brahmana. So here brahmana at the end is the vocative, so because he's addressing the Brahmin Sela. Buddhosmi is Buddho Asmi. Is you have to recognize the sandhi there. But to start from the other end, abhinyayang. So what this is from abhijanati, optative form, what should be directly understood, what should be experienced, what should be completely comprehended. Like you recognize this from the aya ending. This is the optative form. That has been completely understood, completely comprehended, directly experienced. So the ta abhinyata, this is its participle form. This is so what should be. Even if you look at the English phrase, should be understood, the English doesn't have this conjugation for the verbs to put it in an optative form. So the optative is expressed with the should be, but the understood is already in past participle. And so what should be understood, this is understood. This has been understood. This has been understood.
Here it is with the prefix abhinyaya, but more commonly this would be parinyayang. It's like in dukkha satyam, parinyayang, but it's similar meaning, like direct understanding, full understanding.
Yeah, so it's useful to recognize the root in the middle of this. The root here is nya, right? This is all to do with. This is all built up on the root knowing, to nya, to know something. So completely know, abhi, pari, should be known. Abhi, nya, has been known. Bhaveta bancha bhavitam. So what should be, this is we skipped over this tabba is this tabba form. You recognize this from the chanting that you memorize for the Dhammacakka as well. This is called the future past participle. What should be developed is developed. This is the Pāli tongue, it's the past participle. And so again, then in the next line, paha tabbang pahinang. Again, this tabba form, past participle. What should be abandoned, that has been abandoned. Pahinang. This is the past participle, and me refers to himself. And therefore, tasama, from that, therefore I am Buddha. Therefore he declares that he is the awakened one.